might have an issue with.
Does it? The monitor.
Oh, we're live now.
It was having the sound. I can't.
It's like a play.
Yeah, like no one's watching it. No, that's how I do.
Dude, we're gonna do this whole thing in front of zero people.
Oh, you're gonna keep it the recording though?
I think so. Alright, sure, done.
Right. Okay, how's the Adafit family? With your interviewing LUCA, right?
It doesn't. I don't know if
Okay,
we're live.
so yeah,
I don't know if we're live.
Josh, that is live.
I'm gonna check if we're live.
I'm checking. It's not live.
Dude, we're just not live, bro. Fuck, that was a terrible start as well, dude. Dante, you can't just burst out laughing.
Okay, it should be live.
Okay, now it's live.
Oh yeah, now we're live.
Okay.
Do you want to go for it?
But how's the LUCA? So just tell us a bit about yourself. Just tell us a bit about yourself, where you're from, what school you go to, just so that people can get to know you.
My name's NIGRINI, and I'm from NIGRINI, and I go to St Andrews College in Grahamstown. I'm a chick, and I play number 7 flank for St Andrews.
Okay, interesting. You play number 7.
Yeah.
So, you as a flank, right? As a flank, what would you say is the most important aspects of it?
I think the most important aspect is probably like to make sure that you always in the right position, because especially in our school structure, if we're not running the right lines in the right moments, then we don't free up like the wings and the outside center, and then we won't get that overlap. So if we as the flanks don't do our job, then the rest of the team suffers.
Okay. That's good to know. So we're gonna be asking you a few personal and story-driven questions to see how we can get to know you as one of our athletes. Dante, if you wanna get us started off with that.
Yeah, so I was just curious. You came from NIGRINI to St Andrews on a bursary, I'm pretty sure. So what was that transition like for you?
Well, first, like I was quite like unsure about it, because like St Andrews is quite a prestigious school, and I come from a background where it's like not what I thought was the same as. I didn't think it would line up with St Andrews like culture. But when I got there, like I realized that Grahamstown is like also like a small town like NIGRINI, and like everyone's just the same. So after like 2 weeks, like it just felt like no one, like it was basically like my second home.
Oh, it's good that you could adapt to it quite quickly. But I mean, tell us more about how, kind of on a day-to-day basis, how would it be different to kind of your lifestyle before?
Okay, so when you get there in grade 8, it's like you're a new boy, and like you basically like at the bottom rank of the school. So whenever like when you're at home, you don't really have that much responsibility, and you like kind of live in your own house with your parents, so it's pretty laid back. But when you get there in grade 8, you've got lots of duties to do, like wake ups and tea for the matrics, and you've got to ring bells like for class, and all these small things that if you mess up, other people are going to be angry at you, and if you mess those things up, like it might cause things like to go wrong, like the routine will change, and there's like a lot of routine that if you don't stick to, like you're going to get in trouble. So getting used to and adjusting to that like routine is like quite, it was a quite like a big change.
Okay. Dante.
Cool. So, I did want to ask you, this is a problem that I think a lot of players have, is injuries, right? And it can be very difficult whether you're out for like even 2 months or whether you're out for a year. I know that you did have meniscus tear in grade 11. So can you just talk me through like what kind of injury that is, like how long were you out for, and how you had to overcome that and back into the game?
So basically, it was like at the start of the year, like Jan, and I was playing touch rugby with my friends like preseason, and then I just like did like a little step, like a side step, and like pass, and then I felt like this little pop, like it wasn't that sore, but I could feel it wasn't like, it didn't feel normal. So I sat out and stuff, and I saw the physio the next day, and then she said, "No, it should be chill, just go in crutches." And then she said, to be safe, though, let's get an MRI scan. So then what happened was we got back, we're in the car back, and like my mom said, the doctor said that she wasn't like quite, she saw something that wasn't good. And like I was confused because I was like, hey, like it didn't seem that bad. And then when we got the results, like the night later, it said that I completely torn the meniscus like in half. So it's like the worst tear you can get. And then it took, from then, it like was a lot to process because straight away I knew I was probably not going to be able to play sport for like 12 months. So yeah, it was tough to take in. And then like all the visions I had and all like the goals I had for this year, I knew was completely like falling onto its face. And like I started to spiral and I had bad thoughts. And yeah, I went through like a dark stage. But then luckily I had like a few things that motivated me to keep on going. Like my good friend Douglas, who like he always like believed in me in my rugby and stuff, and my mom, and of course God. So yeah, that just kept me going, and I had my goals, and I knew if I put my mind to it, I could achieve things, even though like odds were against me.
So given that you had these things that motivated you and pushed you through this thing that you had to go through, what did you learn from this whole experience, from being out of the game, from knowing you're out of the game and knowing there's nothing you can do about it except wait, Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I learned like that like rugby isn't really life. Like it's like people may think you're a rugby player and they see you as that, but you're just like someone who plays rugby. And it made me like kind of understand that that's not who I define myself as a person. It's just what I do. And I like went into new branches. Like I even like did like a play at our school. I just want to try something new, and like yeah, it was quite. Yeah,
I
you see
don't
things
want
from
to
an outside perspective of as a.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'd love
Yeah.
to hear more about this play.
No, it's this tradition. Well, not tradition. It's this thing that our school does every year. It's called Playfest, and there's basically like lots of little plays, and then there's the drama students direct it and act in it, but you can also act in it if you want to. So I just put up my hand, and then yeah, it was quite fun.
No, dude, it's sick. It's nice that
Yeah.
you branched out. I mean, a lot of people, they might isolate themselves and kind of go into this like mindset of denial when they can't do this thing that they absolutely love. But I mean, you stepped out of your comfort zone, and I think that's very impressive.
What advice would you have for anyone that is currently going through an injury, that just got injured, like what advice would you have for them mentally to get themselves back into a position where they're close to achieving their goals?
Personally, I would tell them that they should do a lot of like introspection and reflection on the things that they couldn't do while they were playing the sport that they wanted to play, and try better those things, and know that them not being able to play is not the end of the world. There's a million other people in the world who'd rather be in your position. Like they would kill someone to be in your position. You know what I mean? And it's not the end of the world. You can learn new things, do things that you would never be able to do before your injury, and just see life from a different perspective and embrace that.
So, no,
Okay, now
very
you said that
insightful.
this is something you told us privately, but you said that you only listen to Adele on game day. Why Adele?
Nah, I don't know. Like it's just like I'm quite I have lots of superstitions, and I'm quite like strict on them. So when I wake up, I just feel like Adele, she just like gets me in that zone, and I just like it makes me relax and focus. And even when you're walking before the warm up, like what we do is we meet at the tuck shop that's above the field, and then we walk down the stairs onto the field. And then like when you're playing the music, especially on K Day, when we were walking past like the whole crowd where it's just full of people, and I was listening to like Adele, it just relaxes you, and it just puts you in like a good flow
But
state.
is it like one specific song? Is it like any song that she releases?
There's like 4 or 5, but my favorite one is Hometown Glory. That was my favorite one. And When We Were Young. Those two are my favorite.
You've heard it here first.
Yeah.
So there was another question I wanted to ask you. Would you at all imagine yourself wearing the green and gold one day? Like, is that realistically something you see in your future as a career? Or is this something that just in this phase of your life you just really like doing it?
Yeah, I think that if that's in like God's plan for me, for that to happen, I would love that to happen. I'm gonna try to give it a shot. But if it doesn't work out, then like I'll just accept it and move on. But I definitely want to give it a shot and see how far I can go.
No, 100%. I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Dante, if you want to introduce the next segment of this live stream.
All right, so now we're essentially going to be doing trivia questions. So, Joss, you can go ahead, ask the first one.
Okay. So, in a defensive setup, what is the flank's main role when the opposition runs off scrum?
When the opposition what?
When the opposition runs off from a scrum.
Oh, is to get to the first rack.
I would say that's pretty correct. I guess given that this answer is somewhat subjective, but based on
you try to make the
which
first
player
tackle,
running
get
which
to the
scrum,
rack.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Dante, do you want us to ask the second question? Okay, I'd love to ask the second question.
All right. When contesting a breakdown, what must a player do to legally win a turnover?
To legally make a turnover.
Yeah.
So like, well, it depends because you can be in 2 situations. If you make the tackle, you have to release the player and like show daylight to the ref and then put your hands over. But if you're not part of the tackle, you can go straight forward and try to rip the ball out and like show your intentions of trying to steal the ball.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. That's completely spot on with the answer that we have down here. That's proper. Okay, so since this is quite an easy one, in what year did South Africa win their first Rugby World Cup, and who was captain?
Oh my word. I know this, but yeah, you come here. You come here at a bad time. Just wait.
Nah,
Okay, I need to do maths. So 2019, then 2015, 2011, 2007, 24, 2000, I mean, 1999, 1990, 1991.
that you're close. Off by
1995,
40
no,
bits.
it's
Yeah,
1995.
yeah,
No,
that's right,
1995.
But then who was captain?
And then I have Francois Pienaar, I know that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, my maths was bad there. But yeah, 1995.
It's okay, at least you can play rugby.
Yeah.
Dante, do you want to keep going with the next few?
Yeah, so
Done.
I just wanted to branch off a bit. So I wanted to just ask a bit more about rugby and sort of how you got into that. So what inspired you to like take it like really seriously? Because with all things, like there's a time where you kind of just playing for bands, and then there's also a time where you take like that next step. And who is like
Yeah.
your biggest role model or influence?
Yeah, I think actually I mentioned him earlier, but it's probably my friend Douglas. Like I didn't really see. I saw rugby as something fun, as you said, and it still is fun. But then he made me realize that I wasn't far off of the people who like, because we were watching Craven Week, I think when I was in grade 10, and then I was like almost like idolizing these people, and then he was like saying like, bro, you could be there in a few years, like you're not far off those people, and then like he made me realize that it could be a possibility. So then that's kind of when I was like, oh geez, I can get there. So then that's when I kind of started to look at it in that way.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Right, so Douglas is one of your good friends.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Dante, do you want to say something?
Yeah, which rival school like would you never play for, even if they paid you?
That's a good question. Probably Kingswood. Yeah, because those are obviously our biggest rivals. I probably was Kingswood and Selborne. I'd never play for those.
So
Two.
why not
Also great.
Selborne?
Nah, Selborne, especially like in the past like few years, have gotten a bit of a big head because like they're a good school like in their past, but they haven't been winning anything. And as soon as they get a win, then they go. It's like they're like Man United fans. Like Man United lose, and then like as soon as they get like a one win in like 5 games, it'll be on everyone's story and stuff. Yeah, it's quite annoying.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So I want to ask you: is there any international team that you would play for if it wasn't for the Springboks specifically?
Yeah. Well, next year I'm quite interested in going to Italy to play at a club there. So if I could play for like Zebre Palma, I don't know if you know them, then the Yossi. I would like to play for them if that was a possibility. Yeah.
Why do you want to play for them?
Nah, I don't know. It just it just like feels almost it just feels because I know like Italy's not obviously as good as South African rugby, so I feel like but they still compete at a high level at the highest level where the Stormers are competing and stuff. So it's a good platform to almost show who you are and then come back to South Africa.
All things considered, there it's quite a good career
nice
as
place
well.
To be, yeah.
And the money is also pretty good in Italy as well.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, I want to ask you something about when you started coaching for a while.
Yeah.
So, what did that experience change about how you see rugby? Because it's from a completely different perspective. I mean, it's kind of like a third person perspective in a sense
Mm.
of the game of rugby.
Yeah, so when I first took it up, my mom like said, now you need to obviously find time to replace what when you would be practicing and stuff. So then I started coaching the under 14 A's with like with the main coach. Um, and yeah, like it's almost at first it was like I took it serious, like I did the whole way through, but like I didn't really know anyone that well because they were just brand new grade eights that came to the school. But then like later on, like it was almost my escape. You know what I'm saying? I'd go there and like they'd all like look up to me and like they'd all treat me well. They didn't, you know what I mean? And they listened, and it was nice to be around them. So yeah, and then when they would play, like you'd see rugby from a perspective that you never saw
Obviously,
before from an out.
not quite the same level at which you were playing, but it's fine.
Yeah, but there was
But no, it's
a lot
and
of
I mean,
good people in that team.
Yeah, it must have been entertaining.
Yeah, and still you learn a lot from them because you know how to speak
Yeah,
to
I mean,
people and stuff.
yeah. Wait, okay. Do you want to explain why why do you think you'd learn something from watching younger players play?
Well, the I would say that age group, especially at our school right now, is probably the best age group. They're like the most talented boys, and their backline players is extremely competitive. So there's like 3 people going in and out each week of the team based on how they performed on the weekend. And I'd say, like a few of them had way more better skills than I did. So they taught me how to do some certain kicks and some passes and offloads, and yeah, it was cool. So yeah, I definitely learned from them and some skill
I mean, I
aspects
guess
and stuff.
you can learn from everyone.
Yeah, 100%.
Dante, do we have any more trivia questions loaded in the back?
No. I think that's it. What's the score?
I think he is about 3 for 5 right now.
3. What did I get wrong?
I can't lie. No, your answers were good. I think the trivia questions that we chose just weren't very good.
No, but I got 5 out of 5. What did I get wrong?
5 out of nah. I wouldn't say 5 out of 5.
You have a dog.
I would also like to say that 3 out of 5 is completely random. Wait, how many questions did we actually ask?
Spot,
No,
no?
but you know what?
Dog.
I was more interested.
No, it was like
in hearing
you
about
asked
that.
you asked like 4 questions.
Yeah, but the thing is, the other questions, they're not quite as interesting, and we're running quite over time at this point. So, I think we should close off pretty soon. Luca, is there anything you want to say to anyone that is watching right now or not watching, in terms of how they should go about rugby and rugby in school, really?
I just think that if you're interested in it and you want to take it further, I feel like you must just give it everything, and you're not gonna get by with any shortcuts. You know what I mean? Like those people at the top who are playing don't take shortcuts, but it also you mustn't look at it in a lens where you think it's unrealistic for yourself to be there because it once you when you're far away from, like, let's say playing Craven Week or Academy Week or SS schools, then it looks something that's too far out of your reach. But when you get to that age where it's your time, you actually realize that it's not that far out of your reach, and if you just work hard enough, you could end up there.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. Then I think
Right, so then just yeah, I think just one of the last things that we're gonna ask. So can you just tell me a bit about why you decided to join Adafit, why you wanted to, how you've sort of like experienced it so far, and how you feel like you can help the sort of brand's mission to take rugby players from A to B, whether that be from you're playing third team to first team, or whether that be you look up to some of the other guys and you want to go to SS schools. Just tell me a bit about that and how your experience has been.
Yeah, I think what's my favorite experience so far, like being part of Adafit, was actually when I went to the EP rugby trials. Both of the Mackenzie twins were there, and we knew each other, but like we never really spoke to each other because we knew each other through Adafit and stuff. But then when we were like going to bed at night, like everyone was staying in a huge dorm, and then James, like, he made a joke about it, about Adafit, and then then we started speaking, and from then me and James have become like extremely tight, and he's like one of my good friends. So I think if it wasn't for Adafit, I probably wouldn't have become as close with James as I am now, and Josh. So yeah, that's probably my favorite experience with it so far. And obviously like the programs and what the community that Adafit brings to you, the recognition. It's a nice thing to be a part of.
Okay.
So LUCA.
I think we should sign off. LUCA, has been really great chatting to you today. And we really appreciated your insights.
Oh yeah. Allez, George. It's actually you, bro.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, but to carry on what George was saying, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for hopping on. To anyone who is watching right now, this is something we're going to be doing every week. All right. So if you have anyone that you can chat to or that you want us to chat to, just DM the account. This has been the Adafit live stream, whatever you want to call it. So Luke, again, thanks for coming on. Do you have any last words you want to say?
That's it from me. Yeah.
Okay, I'll All right, cool. Well, cheers, Oaks. Thank you everyone for watching, and